Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's me, Greg, and today we're talking about something that I think a lot of you guys are going to find quite fun. Yep, it's approaching almost 2.5 years now that I've been here in Sweden, and over that time I like to think I've acclimatized pretty well. But now it's time for you guys to be the judge, because today we're talking about habits that I've picked up over my time in Sweden. Should we get straight into it? I think we should. Okay, so the first Swedish habit that I just have to mention because it's revolutionised my life is eating pancakes for any meal of the day. Yep, in the UK, we love our pancakes too. We even have a whole day dedicated to eating them in the beginning of the year. However, I don't think I really appreciated how much one person could love pancakes until I arrived here in Sweden. And you guys, I get it, loads of people like pancakes, myself included. But before I came to Sweden, it was something you ate as a dessert after your main meal with some sweet toppings on top. Maybe with some savoury things inside if you were having it as a crepe somewhere in continental Europe, but that was it. But let me tell you what, guys, if you thought you liked pancakes, you need to hop over to Sweden, because here you can eat pancakes for breakfast, lunch, dinner, fika, dessert, you name it, they're eating it. Yeah, you know what, guys, before I came to Sweden, I had never been invited to someone's house for dinner and served pancakes as the main meal, but now I'm so used to it that I could actually probably do it myself. Yeah, I've got to admit, I feel like pancakes was one of those untapped resources that I thought I knew and loved when I was in England, but now I've really understood its full potential. And if you don't believe me, hop on a plane, jump on over to Sweden and ask someone in the street, what is your favourite meal? I guarantee at least 20% of people are going to say pancakes. Who even knew pancakes was a meal? When we're on the topic of food being used in weird and wonderful places, I've got to mention the breakfast sandwich. And you know what, guys, I'm sure you're familiar by now with the stereotype that in England we like to pack our kids off to school with an apple, a packet of crisps, and a freshly cut sandwich in little triangles, and maybe there's some truth in that. But let me tell you what, until I came to Sweden, I had never, ever, ever had a sandwich for breakfast. Okay, I probably don't need to tell you that that was a little bit of an exaggeration, but now it's my daily life. Every single morning, the first thing I reach for is the butter, some sort of meat filling, and my bread. Yet in our house we try to vary it up a little bit and keep it interesting with some oatmeal or some porridge a couple of times a week, but now that feels like the poor relation, because all I really want is my breakfast sandwich. And I know that this is a habit that I've well and truly nailed now, because when I have my friends come to visit me and I present them with this breakfast buffet of different types of hard bread and different types of freshly cut bread, and then I give them all these toppings, they're like, okay, but where is my cereal? So yeah, I'm a well and truly converted breakfast sandwich eater now. And while we're on the topic of what goes on in the home, let's bring up habit number 3, taking your shoes off when you come inside. And I know that right now I've got a lot of you shocked. You think I'm some sort of monster, and if you invited me over to your house I would turn up and just traipse through with my dirty shoes. That's not the case. In the UK we take off our shoes too when we come to someone's house. But what I'm not used to until I came to Sweden is taking my shoes off when I go into public places. Yet nowadays when I rock up to the office, you will see me go to the cloakroom like everybody else, remove my shoes and traipse around for the rest of the day in my socks. And the same thing seems to apply when you go to a gym or when you go to some sort of massage parlour, for example. I'm taking my shoes off everywhere. And before you guys think I'm hating on this, I'm really not. I can completely understand, especially when you look at the harsh winters that some parts of Sweden receive. They don't want you just traipsing into all of these public buildings with your shoes on, bringing in all of the snow, muck, ice, you name it. So I understand, but at the same time, it's something that I've adapted to. A further step that I'm not quite prepared to take yet is bringing sandals to work. Yep, a lot of my Swedish colleagues rock up to the office, remove their shoes like I do, and then they put on what can only be described as this cross between a sandal and a croc. And let me tell you what, accepting that would be like cultural suicide to me, because in the UK, you're brainwashed that socks and sandals is not a thing you put together. So I'm definitely not rocking up to work and doing it. And from the inside world to the outside one, habit number 4 is exercise and being active in nature. And I know what you're thinking, come on Greg, you must have nature in the UK, you must have put on some trainers before. And don't get me wrong, I had, but it's become such a big part of my life now in a way that it never was before. I remember when I first visited Sweden and I went back to the UK again afterwards, I said to my parents, I don't understand. How are the Swedes so in shape when they love their baking, they love their fika, there's always sweet treats and snacks all over the place, you got your Saturday sweets, it just doesn't make sense. But now that I'm here full time, I can completely understand, because every single Swede you seem to meet is working out, they're at the gym, they're running, they're cycling, they're so active. It's not a lifestyle choice like it is in the UK. Here it's just the way of life. Even the difference between in the UK, I used to take the train or even my car to work, but these days I cycle to work. It's just a total different culture shift for me. And then I tell you what, until I've been to Sweden, I have never seen a meeting get postponed, delayed or cancelled because somebody wants to build in time during their lunch break to go to the gym or to go for a run. That just does not happen in the UK. If you don't have time for your run, you miss it. Yep, in Sweden they like being active so much that they've even got a verb for training, att träna, and people do it all the time. It doesn't matter whether it's in the workday, whether it's at the weekend, people people are so active and I've really got on board with it. Since being here, you will now catch me running 2, 3, 4 times a week. That was unimaginable before. And it doesn't matter what the weather is either. Earlier this year, it got down to -20 where I'm living, and I was still putting on my trainers, wrapping up warm of course, but heading outside for sometimes up to 10 kilometers in that temperature. And I'm sure my Swedish viewers are like, yeah, and what? But to the rest of us, we're like, oh my God, that's quite a big commitment. You must be dedicated. That's just the norm here. Which brings me on to my 5th and final habit, and of course, I couldn't finish this video without talking about money. Yet maybe you've heard before, guys, but Sweden is a cashless society. And what does that mean? Well, basically, no one carries around loose change. And since being in Sweden, it's something that I've definitely got on board with. I never have cash on me anymore. I spend on my card, I use Apple Pay, I use Swish. There's just no need. And let me tell you what, I absolutely love not having to carry around cash or go to the ATM to get out new money every once in a while. These days, I never have cash on me, but I do have to shake myself when I'm going to go back to the UK, or even worse if I'm going to go somewhere else in Europe, because not everywhere else is as cashless as they are here. And sometimes it catches me out. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are 5 of the habits that I picked up since I arrived here in Sweden just over 2 years ago. I would love to know if you guys agree with the habits that I've mentioned. Are these unique to Sweden, or should I have just picked them up sooner in the UK? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you think I've missed something, and there's a habit that I've not mentioned that I really should have done, you got to leave that down there below as well, because you never know, maybe I'll do another video like this shortly if you guys are enjoying this. And then, yeah, maybe I'll talk about that next time. And of course, if you did enjoy it, make sure you drop a like so that I know you like content like this. I know to produce more like it in the future. And then all that remains to be said is if you're not subscribed yet, please do turn on the notification bell, join the crew so that you are here every time there's a new video coming out. I try and put them out a couple of times a week at the minute, and it'd be great to know that you guys are watching and have you along for the journey. Anyway, all that remains to be said is have a great day, whatever you're up to, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks again, guys. Goodbye.